to After the Game Highlights with Coach Keith Etheredge, sponsored this week by the Friends to re-elect Owen Drake for State Representative District 45. Coach, welcome to the show once again.
Thank you, Dave.
Coach, we have checks for you this week totaling over $100 from our two spirit lines from the past 2 weeks, and we hope that goes to good use.
I'm sure it will.
Coach, we gridlocked at 0-0 in the first quarter against Walter Wellborn, and then the Green Wave opened things up with a 27-3 win. Tell us about the effort.
We knew they were real good. They have been averaging about 52 points a game, and we knew our defense had to step up and play hard this week, which they've done all year. I think we've given up a total of 13 points in 4 games, so our defense is playing great right now. We got a big punt return early from Dedrick Forsythe off of a block by Javier Mitchell, and then Jonathan Rose got into the scoring, and you know, he's a big play guy for us. When he starts, you know, making some plays on offense, it's going to turn us into a whole different football team. And he did a great job the other night. He had 1 rushing, one receiving touchdown. So, and then Forsythe had a rushing and a punt return for a touchdown. So, we had a good night the other night. We played a real good football team, and we played well. Again, penalties, we shot ourselves in the foot a little bit with penalties. But overcame some of that stuff, and to get out of there with a 27-3 win, we'll take it.
So it was a overall team effort then?
Absolutely, absolutely. We played good on both sides of the football. You know, with the exception of the penalties, you know, I thought we played real well. They blocked a punt on us, and it put us, you know, it changed the field position. We got pinned real deep early, and our defense did a great job, stepped up, held them out 4 downs, and we took over and did a great job offensively and defense, keeping ourselves out of trouble, offensively moving the ball down the field. You know, we turned it over, I want to say one time, you know, fumbled on a long run that we had. So, but other than that, we played well.
And Coach, there has been leather popping all year. You can hear it up in the stands, and we've had to deal with some injuries. Tell us who's out, who's in. How do we stand on the injuries?
We're banged up right now. You know, we've had 4 physical football games, and we're a little banged up right now. And you know, we tell the guys all the time, you know, if you're injured, you can't play. You know, if you're hurt, you play hurt. You know, that's just football. And a lot of our guys are playing hurt. You know, we've got a couple of little nagging injuries, some high ankle sprains, some knees that are bothering some guys, and some, you know, some shoulder things. So, but all in all, you know, our guys are going to play a little banged up, and you know, it may be a situation where we have to sit a guy, but hopefully everybody will be able to play Friday night. It's looking like we're probably going to be missing 2, maybe 3 guys, but we got guys that are capable of stepping in and doing a good job behind them.
All right, and that always goes a long way to have a little depth in the background.
Exactly.
Because you're right. I mean, every football player knows about play. I mean, we're not talking about playing where you're endangering yourself.
Right, exactly.
We're talking about you're banged up.
Exactly.
You know, and you just get used to that.
Exactly. We're not going to put a kid out there that's in a situation where they're going to hurt himself worse. But we also know that, you know, in football it's a physical game, and you're going to get banged on, you're going to get hurt a little bit, and these kids know their limitations. If they tell us that they're hurt and they can't go, and or our trainer sees they can't go, we're going to pull them out.
Well, Coach, we are about, and a lot of people really like this, we're about to move into cooler weather, even cold weather to come. How does that affect the team in practicing, strategy, or even if at all? But it is, cold weather's coming. That's one thing. Football's played in both hot and extreme cold weather. Tell us about that.
Well, you know, we talk about cold weather, but we're going to go out and practice today, and it's going to be 94. You know? But it is coming, and it does change things a little bit. You know, you got the younger guys that come out there, and they'll be in there, you know, when it starts getting cold, they'll have their sweatshirts on under their pads. Ooh, I feel good right now. And then by about midway through practice, they're like trying to shed everything they got off. So we sort of tell them, you know, don't dress for how cold it is right now. You know, dress for how cold you're going to be after you get to start working for about 30 or 45 minutes. So our kids sort of realize that, and it does change things a little bit, you know. When it gets extremely cold, you know, sometimes you get them shots on the end of the fingers, and
yeah.
you know how that is, David, playing before. But you know, football's football.
Right.
You know, like you said, it's one of those sports where you can't control the environment. You know,
Right.
you sort of just got to play in it. You know, basketball, some of the other sports, you sort of control the environment. But football is one of the things where you gotta take the environment that you're in and play to your fullest. You know.
Does it make a difference when you finally get to extreme cold weather? And of course, I've played games where it's extremely cold and it had rained as well.
Yeah, right.
Does that affect your strategy? Do you have to slow down a
Absolutely.
little bit? So there is
Absolutely.
somewhat of an effect.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we're going to play different in the rain than we do when it's not been raining. I mean, take the Clair County game, for instance. We're going to run the ball more when it rains. We're not going to take a chance of, you know, throwing one up and it coming out of the quarterback's hand wrong and, you know, them getting a pick and, you know, changing the whole complexity of the game. So we play a little closer to the vest when it rains, and, you know, in cold weather, you know, that don't change too many things, but, you know, it does play into it. You know, we try to get some torpedo heaters on the sideline to warm up when they get over there, and of course, you know, when it's extremely hot, we try to get some fans over there. So, I mean, you know, everything has an effect on the game. You know, so you have to go through your mind. What if this happens? What if this happens? You know, we carry ball dry to every single game. Ball dry, cap litter, that kind of thing, just to help suck up the moisture off balls, and you know, a lot of things play into it. So you just got to be prepared for anything.
All right. Well, now, Coach, we're on the road again, as we've said, and this time we're heading to Odenville to take on St. Clair County this Friday, 4-18, undefeated, and they're coming off a 31-28 win over Cleburne County. So once again, Coach, you're playing an undefeated team again. So tell us what we're up against this Friday.
Watching film on them gives me headaches. They've got a lot of athletes. You know, they're a good football team. You know, they play hard. You know, hopefully, you know, we go in there with the mentality of, you know, we're going to try to run the ball and, you know, be physical and do what we do. And we can't worry about what other people do. We sort of got to do what we do best and let everything else take care of itself. You know, but you know, like you said, you know, having guys banged up plays into it. Having, you know, the weather conditions could play it. I mean, we're playing good football right now. So if we continue doing what we do and they continue doing what they do, it's going to be a good football game Friday night, because they got a lot of athletes. We got a lot of athletes ourselves, you know. So I think this game's going to be one up front. You know, offensive, defensive line. They like to throw the ball. Got some big, tall receivers. You know, quarterbacks, real good player. Got a great back. You know, so you know, we're going to have to play our best football if we're going to win this game Friday night.
And you know, Coach, it's just up the road. Odenville's
Right.
hardly any length at all. It does mean something to the team when they see the crowd there.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
And you know, this really ought to be a good football game.
It's going to be a great football game, you know. And barring anything happening as far as turnovers and things like that, you know, as long as it's well played, and you know, we don't turn the ball over and they don't turn the ball over, you know, it's going to be. I think it's going to be tight and come down to the line, all the way down to the wire. So you probably don't want to miss this one. It's going to be a good one.
All right. Well, Coach, thanks again for
Thank you,
being
Dave.
with us. Now, we want to tell you once again to make this very short trip. It's Odenville. It's going to be a great game. The support means everything to the team. We also want to thank the Friends to Re-elect Owen Drake for District 45 for sponsoring yet another show. And remember, folks, roll green wave.